Let's take a look at absolute values. So we're going to solve, we're going to find an x value that makes this work, that makes this a true statement. But first, I want to talk about what does an absolute value actually mean. It means the distance from zero. So it's saying choose an x value so that the distance of whatever number that appears inside the absolute value, choose an x value so that the number that gets evaluated on the inside is 5, positive. So that's a weird way of thinking about it. Later on, it might become like an important way to think about it. But let's just think about an aside. I'm gonna take this over. This is not part of the example. It's just to I guess gain some insight on how we can solve this. So if we have if we have an absolute value and we put in 7, what comes out? Well, that's just the same thing as 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. I don't know why your voice is so high pitched, but that's fine. If I had absolute values of -7, then also I get out 7 because it just takes the negatives and makes them positive. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to look at this inside, and we could have a positive version for the inside, and we'd still get +7, or a negative version for the inside, and we'd still get 7. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to make a positive version for the inside and set it equal to 5, and then I'm going to make a negative version for the inside and set it equal to 5. Just because that's what absolute values do. So then we're gonna do that. So it really is solving two problems. Before you might have seen it where you make this one negative, but it makes more sense just to carry it from this example. Okay, the inside can be positive and it'll come out as a positive. The inside could be negative and it could come out as a positive. Hopefully you'll be able to remember that. Okay, make the inside positive, or I'm doing air quotes, you can't see it. Make the inside positive, so 2x plus 15, and then we'll get that +5. Or make the inside negative, and we'll still get that 5. So I'll say make the inside, with parentheses, I'll do it in a different color, negative, parentheses, 2x plus 15. So that's the inside there, and I made it negative with that negative outside the parentheses, and it's still going to come out as a regular 5, right? Because we make the inside negative, it still comes out as a regular number. So, what do we have here? I'm going to change that to a -1 so I can distribute it. It's easier to see that I can distribute it. So, now I pretty much just have two equations to solve. 2x plus 15, 2x plus 15, well, I guess I can just start solving that -15 to both sides. And that goes away. 2x equals -10, right? That makes -10. And then divide by 2. And the x is all by itself now. Whoops. The x is all by itself now. So we get x equals -5. That's one of our answers. If I plug that into here, what happens? If I plugged in, I'm just checking in my head. If I plug in -5, I get what? 2 times -5. That would be -10 plus 15. -10 plus 15 is +5. Absolute value of +5 gives you 5. So that works. Check. Yes. Yay. Yay. Yeah. Okay. Now let's work on the other problem. So there's one answer that makes this work. Let's work on the other problem. First, I'll distribute. And I have -2x then, and also -15, and that's going to equal 5. And then I'll just solve it like normal. Plus 15 on both sides, plus 15, and I have, where's my green, -2x equals 20. And then divide by -2. So divide by -2, divide by -2, that goes away. X equals -10. Let's check and see if that works. I'll check it in my head. but I'll talk it out. So x equals negative 10. So negative 10 times 2, that's negative 20. Negative 20 with a negative up front. Negative 20 plus 15. Well, by golly, that's negative, what was it? Negative 20 plus 15, that's negative 5, right? But then the absolute values appear and they make it into a positive again. So then that's how we get our positive. So it still comes out positive. Both of these answers work. If you don't write both of the answers, you don't get full credit. You have to have both of them. It stems from the idea that absolute values take positives and keep them positives, takes negatives and makes them positive. So that's what we did. We took the inside and left it positive and just solved like normal. And then on the other one, well, if we had the inside being negative, it would still come out as a positive. So I took the inside and I made it negative with that negative one out there. And then I distributed and solved. Before you might have seen putting the negative on the 5. I'm not going to do that just because it makes more sense to me, at least. I don't know if to you. But if you're more comfortable doing it a different way, well, as long as you're doing it all right and you understand it, then I don't mind. Cool. I'm done with this example.